Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today in Coffee Talk. In this guide, we're going to cover our first playthrough. So once you start up the game and select your name and save slot and all that stuff, you are going to get to the main menu. First thing you want to do is you want to head into the options. If you are just here for the achievements, highly recommend cranking up the text speed all the way to instant. Then make sure you turn the auto dialogue to on, and then make sure you put skip dialogue to all. This will ensure that we get through the text as quickly as possible. If we just want the achievements, we are just going to skip past the story super duper fast. Go to play game to start the story. You should get an achievement for loading it up for the first time called Welcome to Coffee Talk. That's for 20 gamer score. If you are just interested in a text guide, here is going to be the basic breakdown of all of the drinks you need and which dates they go with, so make sure you follow along accordingly. You can pause here and just use this as a guide if you really want to. If you want something a little more visual, of course, feel free to watch the video. This first playthrough is going to be about just over half an hour long or so let's get cracking. So first day on the job is going to be September the 22nd of 2020. The game is going to start out by introducing us to our first customer, who is going to be Freya. Keep in mind, during this first little interaction, you cannot use the fast forward quite just yet, so just make sure you keep mashing the button to skip through this, or you can take the time to read it if you are into the story, but keep in mind, if you do that, you are going to spend quite a lot of time on this game. So, whatever the case, just make sure you get through this first little conversation right here. Then you are going to get to the main gimmick of the game, which is trying to brew certain drinks for certain people. Every single interaction is going to call for a different drink mix, and different drink mixes cause certain things in the story to change. So just make sure you follow along and just use the same mixes that we do. This should also help towards the mix all of the different types of drinks achievement. So for this first person, you are going to do coffee, 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 and then you want to make sure you click the brew button and then serve. You should get an achievement for serving your first drink called First Brew for 20 gamer score. Once you have served your first drink, you should now be free to use the fast forward. All you have to do is just hit right bumper, and then the game should speed through the text as quickly as possible, and the game is going to auto stop whenever we have to mix a drink. That should directly segue to customer number 2, and then for this person, you want to mix chocolate, 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 and that is going to get through this bit of the story. Once you encounter customer number 3, he is going to ask for a cappuccino. That's going to be coffee, coffee, milk. This is also going to be the first chance you can draw some latte art. There is going to be an achievement for drawing latte art for the first time. This is going to be the only character in the game where you have to draw latte art, so you don't have to worry about this ever again for the rest of this playthrough. So before you click serve it, just make sure you click on latte art, which should be this new third option. You actually don't have to draw anything. You can actually just open it and then close it, and that'll actually still count. There's the achievement for drawing your first piece of latte art called It's a Masterpiece for 20 gamer score. Last drink of September 22nd is going to be a green tea latte. This one's going to be green tea and then milk twice. All right, first drink of September 23rd. We should be introduced to some new ingredients on the second shelf. This first drink is going to be coffee and then 2 honeys. The other customer is going to want an espresso. That's going to be triple coffee. Next customer we meet is going to want a coffee with some ginger in it, so that's going to be coffee, coffee, ginger. Then the other customer is going to have what the other guy's having, which is also coffee, coffee, ginger. First customer of September 24th is going to be milk and then honey, honey. Then we're going to meet this cat girl. We are going to give her milk, 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 which is going to make milk. And boring old Freya is, of course, going to ask for her typical espresso, coffee, coffee, coffee for that. It is going to be right here after serving these 3 people that you should get the Achievement Unlocked achievement. That's going to be for 20 gamer score. Then back to the police officer. He's going to ask for some cough syrup. That's going to be green tea, lemon, and some honey. Next day, September the 25th, we are going to meet the vampire guy. He is going to ask for green tea, ginger, ginger. Once Freya enters the scene, we're going to mix her some milk, ginger, and honey. Next customer is going to be green tea and then 2 milks. Next customer up to bat is going to want tea, milk, and ginger. Start of September 26th, we are introduced to the Fury from Metal Gear Solid 3. He is going to ask for coffee, coffee, lemon. Enter the next customer. They are going to want coffee, milk, milk, which is going to make a cafe latte. After being introduced to this character, they are going to ask for tea, ginger, cinnamon, which makes something called a masala chai. September the 27th is going to start out with something called a Russian tea. This is going to be tea, lemon, and cinnamon. Of course, Freya is going to ask for her usual espresso, so coffee, coffee, coffee for the second drink of today. The professory looking guy is going to want milk, ginger, honey, and that's going to wrap up the last drink of this date. September 28th is going to start out with tea, milk, ginger for this person. The other and last drink of the day is going to be a ginger latte, which is coffee, ginger, milk. September 29th is going to open up with tea, milk, ginger for this person. The other person is going to ask for tea, lemon, honey. Once the astronaut character comes back, we should get their name, and that is going to befriend the last person, which should give us the We Are All Friends achievement. That's going to be for 20 gamer score. That's for befriending every possible character in the game. Then they are going to ask for a drink. You want to make sure you mix milk, honey, and mint. All right, last day of September. We are going to start out with green tea and then mint mint. Keep in mind, green tea is different than regular tea, so you don't want to confuse the two. As for our other character, we are going to want to mix tea, and then milk. Cat Lady enters the fray and is going to want chocolate, honey, and milk. The professor guy is going to come back and is going to want the credit song to the first Life is Strange. That's going to be Chocolate Milk Ginger. All right, first day of the month and first customer of October. We are going to make coffee, mint, and honey. Next drink is going to be coffee ginger. Second of October is going to start out with chocolate ginger cinnamon for this person. Now, very important during this part of the conversation, we give Freya the incorrect drink. So what you want to give her is going to be milk, cinnamon, and honey. This is going to be related not only to the story, but it's also going to get us a missable achievement. So make sure you mix this along and then serve it to her. You are going to get the thing where you have served her the wrong drink, but that should get you this achievement. It's going to be, is this it, for 20 gamer score. Next up, we are going to get this customer. We are going to mix her some coffee, ginger, and cinnamon. If everything has gone according to the story, we should get this achievement right here, Love of My Life, for uniting these two. So that's going to be for 45 gamer score. We're going to keep going and then finish that one off. Once we get our next customer, we're going to have another drink mix, and this is also going to lead to another story-based achievement. So to pacify the werewolf man, we are going to give him tea, milk, and ginger. If you happen to get that done correctly, you should be good for another achievement once everything settles down. There it is. This one is going to be called Gala Had a Fit. That's going to be for 60 gamer score. October the 3rd is going to start out with coffee, honey, cinnamon. For drink number 2 of today, we are going to repeat what we gave to the werewolf. We are going to do tea, milk, and ginger. Cat Lady is going to swing by. Make sure you give her coffee, milk, milk to make a cafe latte. Once you get the cat, we are going to give it milk, of course, which is milk, milk, and then milk. The officer is going to want an espresso. If you forgot what that was, it's coffee, coffee, coffee. This should also mark the last person that we need their social media information. That's going to be 60 gamer score for social media fever. And then finally, the last drink for this playthrough anyway is going to be chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. After we wrap this up, we are just going to have story bits left, so all we have to focus on is just fast forwarding through the rest of the story, and of course popping our achievements. So for wrapping up our current story arc, we should be given the father and daughter achievement. This is for 45 gamer score. You are going to get a 2-week time skip and then a bunch of talking, which is basically going to conclude the story. You should get some end credits, and that should give you the achievement for collecting all the art in the game for 60 gamer score called Art Connoisseur. Then you are going to begin the epilogue. You should get the There's a Spark achievement. That's for finishing another one of the story arcs. That one's going to be for another 45 gamer score. Then just fast forward through the epilogue. It's actually quite short. Then we're going to get to the credits. You should get the Interstellar support achievement for having the astronaut show up, and that's going to be for another 45 gamer score. But more importantly, after finishing the story for the first time, you should get Is That It for another 45 gamer score. So that should wrap up our first playthrough, but of course, just like any other visual novel, we should have a bunch more playthroughs to go through. So check back soon for those, and that's all there is to it.